books of the Bible in the Old Testament. That's an amazing accomplishment. If there's anything that we need to remember from all that has happened is that God is faithful. From creation, all that happens in history, God is faithful. And the story continues with God's rescue plan in the New Testament. Let's go!
If you missed the lesson, here is the quick version. Daniel was a young man when he was taken into captivity during the Babylonian Empire. Remember Daniel in the fiery furnace and then in the lion's den? Yes, that is the same Daniel which is the prophet Daniel in this book. The first 6 chapters of the book of Daniel tells us about the lives of Daniel and his 3 friends. God wanted to show that He would save all Israel from their enemies, the way He saved Daniel and his friends from their enemies. The next 6 chapters talk about Daniel's visions and prophecies that came to pass in the 400 years after he had prophesied. Daniel is the last of the major prophets. We will now meet the minor prophets. Hosea warned Israel what would happen if they kept worshipping other gods. He had to literally present and go through a visual picture of the way the Israelites treated God in their unfaithfulness to Him. Joel describes the day of the Lord through locusts and battles, declaring the magnitude and impact of it. He then ends with a hope. God will restore the years the locusts destroyed. Things were going well during Prophet Amos' time, yet Amos shocked everyone by declaring the opposite. The day of the Lord would be punishment for Israel. The book of Obadiah is a tiny book with only 1 chapter. It was an oracle of judgment to the Edomites. And remember Jonah and the big fish? The same Jonah. This book is about the prophet instead of the message the prophet brought. God wants us to fix all our relationship with Him. Micah was about the same time as the prophet Isaiah. Micah talks about how we should live, to do justice, to love kindness, to walk humbly with our God. The next 3 books go together. Nahum spoke of the oracle of judgment to Nineveh for their sin and cruelty. Habakkuk prophesied that Babylon would invade Judah. Zephaniah declared that the day of the Lord would bring good news and blessings to those who walk faithfully, and the complete opposite to those who don't. God used 2 prophets to encourage the Jews as they return after the exile. Haggai encouraged them to finish God's work on the temple. Zechariah prophesied about the glorious future of God's people and the coming Messiah. And the final minor prophet, Malachi, tells the people to stick to the covenant no matter what. God is still their God and they are still His people, and they will be the key to the blessing that will come to the whole world. And this wraps up the books of the prophets.